If you're the partner who's left, like, do you even know that the remotes are missing, or do you think you've just misplaced it?
If they were all missing, I would know. I would know. One not being there, sure, maybe I misplaced it. But
I might do that. I might like steal the Apple TV remote because that's the one that's easy to lose, and I might just take that with me and go. I guess you could do it on your phone.
You could, but
now, it's different.
That's already a win. Yeah. That's already a win.
Yeah.
Whoever took it's winning because you've got to download the fucking app.
I want a camera. I would need a camera in the house to just to watch you pulling things apart.
But you look at that just at home.
Talking about relationships, sex, and identity always reminds me that being a human is messy. So I wanted to create a compassionate space where we could feel less alone and embrace our mess together. The funny, the vulnerable, the cringe, and even the kinky. Because every part of who we are matters. So don't be shy, baby. Tell me something messy. Messy patrons, come on, baby. Welcome to the show. I am your messy mom, Brandon Kyle Goodman. And you know what that means. It is time for a guest. Now, while they get situated, we will get our messy kiki started with a hoe manifesto. So repeat after me, aloud or in your head. Grant me the serenity to unpack my shame, the courage to heal, the wisdom to know that sex is not about penetration, the audacity to advocate for my pleasure and boundaries, the strength to not call my ex that fuck boy, fuck girl, or fuck they, for it is better to masturbate by myself in peace than to let someone play in my motherfucking face. Let the community say, hallelujah. Baby, today we've got the brilliant Erica Chidi. She's a writer, a producer, strategist, health educator who's been changing the game at the intersection of wellness and culture. She's the former co-founder and CEO of Loom. She wrote the influential book Nurture and now runs her own creative studio called Issei Issei, bringing untold stories to life. She's so dope and one of my favorite people to eat with. Y'all, please help me welcome into our messy living room, Erica Chidi.
Hi.
Hi, Erica.
Hey there.
How you doing?
I'm so glad to be here.
Sister. Sibling. We're finally doing it. But people don't know, but you and I have only met.
Oh my God.
We only met at the time of the recording.
This lifetime.
This lifetime. Come on, period. This lifetime we've only met like 2 or 3 months ago.
I mean, it's giving 3.
It's giving 3.
Yeah.
We're at a 3
almost 90
anniversary.
days, which means the trial is almost up.
Okay, because we're past that honeymoon phase.
Yes.
Now we're like in the real relationship. I'm so happy you're here. Okay, before we get started, our messy mandates for our messy kiki. So things get to be unprocessed. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts or opinions shared have the right to evolve, shift, or change today, tomorrow, 10 years from now. And if during our kiki something feels too personal or unintentionally offends, we use the safe word foosball, which gives us a chance to pause and pivot accordingly. Sound good?
Sounds good.
I love it. That's my spiel. That's my whole spiel. Okay, so how about this? Let's start with a lube breaker. Okay, so today's lube breaker is lick or ick. So I'm going to give you a prompt and you're going to tell me if you would lick it or if it's an ick.
Yes, ma'am.
That sound real?
Yes.
That sound real. It is real.
Yeah.
We're doing it. That sound good?
I have a lot of icks, so let's see where we go.
Okay, lovely. I'm excited. Okay, here we go. So lick or ick. Pickles dipped in peanut butter.
You trying to put me underground. You're trying to kill me.
Come on.
Firstly, fully EpiPen allergic to peanuts.
Oh, okay.
So that's it's a non-starter.
It's a non-starter.
But I really love pickles.
Okay.
So
would it be like in a different kind of butter? Like what if pickles, can you put pickles in just regular butter? That sounds crazy. Is that crazy?
You know, with my little culinary background, I could see a pickle dipped in like tahine, which is kind of a seed butter. It's just like sesame seeds ground into, a kind of liquidy paste.
Okay. Because how do people eat their pickles?
I really just eat a pickle. I'm going to go
eat them right out that jar?
Sometimes. It's so funny. My mom and now my fiance both refer to me as squirrel when I eat, because I typically like to eat standing up, and I'm like opening little jars and putting things in my mouth, and someone comes in and they're just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So pickles can definitely be on their own. Sometimes it's good if you have like a sensy tummy like I do.
Yeah.
You can have your pillow. You can have your pill. Then you can have a pillow. Then you can have your pickle.
A pill, pillow, and a pickle.
Pill, pillow, and a pickle.
I love that. That's also a good little tongue twister.
It is.
Okay, lick or ick. Crocs with socks.
Lick
all
day long, baby. All day long for so many reasons. One,
tell me,
Socks could be compression socks.
Fair.
And compression socks feel really nice, and they're like mentally organizing and help you feel like you're in your body. You're getting all this proprioceptive feedback. So I really am.
What was that word?
Proprioceptive feedback. So proprioceptive is P R
Mm-hmm.
O P R.
Spell it on the bottom.
Proprioceptive.
Okay.
I'm dyslexic.
Okay,
so
beautiful.
We tried.
We'll put it on the bottom.
But basically, proprioception means being able to understand where you are in space.
Okay.
So compression socks, compression clothing can help you feel more orientated and feel where you are. And it's really good for people that are having a lot of pain in their body. Which is something I struggle with. I have a bunch of chronic pain. Or people that are struggling to concentrate. That's why weighted vests can feel nice for some people when they're working or when they're walking, not just
or those sleeping blankets.
Correct, yeah. So it's more weight and more input, letting you know, hey, like you're in this bed or you're in these shoes.
Okay.
So
I love a thermal sock.
Love a thermal sock?
Because I get cold. My feet get cold. My hands are cold right now. So I always wear a thermal sock.
My hands are cold too.
But shout out, no shade. I never got into the Crocs.
It's fine. They don't miss you.
And now they're doing fine without me. They're doing great.
They're doing great without you.
They're thriving.
Don't lose any sleep.
No sleep. They're thriving. They're thriving.
Yeah.
But every time I see one, I have questions. Because when they first came out, they were really quite a sight to behold. But now I'm used to it, so you see it. And now they're like Croc sneakers and
all kinds of things. There's Croc platforms. They did and I'll tell you the Crocs that I have been wearing for years and years. I used to wear the normal Croc, like the everyday Crocs. During the pandemic where I threw out half my wardrobe because I was like, it's never going to be needed again. Mistake.
We're going to stay inside.
Mistake.
Yeah, sure.
Even though I knew that the pandemic was probably going to be 3 to 5 years before we recovered, because my dad's an infectious disease specialist. And so we lived in South Africa for many, many years, and he did HIV and AIDS research out there. And I knew from that epidemic how things could potentially translate here when COVID took off.
Sure.
But definitely did not think about that in the first 3 weeks. I was just like, I'm not going to need anything.
You're like, yeah.
So I don't have any more Crocs, but I did switch over to, not switch over, I've always worn Birkenstocks, but they started making...
really want a Birkenstock.
Oh, you must. I also have super flat feet and they're wide. I do too. Yeah, so like...
So Birkenstock is helpful. Gives you a little... we'll continue the game, but I associate Birkenstocks with school in Georgia because I went to high school in Georgia. And so it was the first time I saw Birkenstocks. So it has like a relationship to... white people, like Southern, like just like triggering, because you can imagine, like I would just
say less.
Some crazy folks.
I'm with you.
Shout out to y'all.
See ya.
Love you. But recently I'm like, I actually like the vibe. It looks comfy. And who doesn't want to be, I always want to be in a sweatpant. I always want to be in a soft pant. You see me on jeans sometimes on this couch, but mostly I want to be in a soft pant and I like a soft shoe.
Yes. And you're getting that.
You're getting that in the Birkenstock.
Also, it depends on which kind of Birkenstock you're going to get.
I want the closed toe one because I don't like my toes out.
Definitely closed toe.
Why are the toes? I'm
in America?
In America, come on. Whenever I see these people walking in them flip-flops on the dirty floor, girl.
No.
I've
seen it.
You've seen it.
I've seen it. And then there's people who don't wear any shoes.
On the street.
Really depends on where you are. Like, I think if you're, somewhere really tropical, because I grew up in Africa, people did wear, like, Havaianas, which is like this Brazilian, flip-flop or slops line that's how they say it overseas.
Okay. Cultured, overseas.
Overseas, babe. Overseas. Not here. Not in this room. Not in this studio.
That's what they say, overseas.
Okay.
Love. Yeah, period.
So overseas, they wear slops.
Okay.
And because it's so humid and warm, which I think maybe, we could give Florida some credit. We could give some other places that are tropical some credit that are near in the States. But you just wear them because your feet, you're warm, you're humid, you're like just sweating.
Yeah.
So it's just nicer to not have your feet trapped. But here...
I don't understand it.
It's cool.
I was downtown the other day and somebody was walking into the
Not downtown.
Downtown. Downtown LA.
Wow.
Shout out to you.
Shout out. But definitely not.
I do have to make an appointment to go downtown LA. But as in Silver Lake. Anyways, on the east side, I don't know why I'm like this. It's so far away from me. So I do need somebody to give me a week's notice before I end up downtown on the east side.
That's fine.
Or Highland Park. Just give me notice. Anyways, I saw this woman walk into an apartment with no shoes on from the street into the apartment with no shoes on. And I was like, choices.
Yeah.
Okay. Liquor.
I have nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
Right.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you and your house and whatever you bring into your house.
Yeah,
with
I
the
ain't
no
coming
shoes.
in there. That's like people put.
God bless.
Put their dirty bags and whatnot on the bed. I don't.
Mama, listen,
Talk about it.
I don't know what this pod is supposed to be about today, but we
about whatever we want it to
definitely.
be.
I don't. It's like we can get into that, but it's also like just how I was raised. I can only speak for myself.
Sure.
But the Caribbean,
The Caribbean,
the Caribbean Nigerian,
Yeah, we don't
intersection. Shoes in the house is already like a problem.
You're already fighting.
Sometimes, you can push through. Like our house, we have concrete floors, and so sometimes it does feel better to just keep the shoes on, depending on the weather or whatever. But shoes in the bedroom, no. Bags on
the bed, on the couch.
No.
We'll fight.
No, we'll fight.
We'll fight.
We'll fight.
It'll be a fight.
We'll fight.
Yeah, my husband, who is famously white.
God bless him too.
God bless him. When we first got together, he was loved to put that bag on the bed, and when I tell you,
luggage
from the airport, love. After it had been through the back of the plane to the damn turnstile,
whatever that
turnstile is, that Nancy that they're not cleaning, and then he would put that bag on the bed, and I had to say, love,
no, baby,
no, no, baby, no.
That's literally one of the most useful memes.
No, baby, no. Yes, shout out to Married to Medicine.
Shout out. That show takes it.
I love that show. Come on, Quad.
Quad.
Liquor it cotton candy grapes.
Gross.
You think it's gross?
Oh, wait. Cotton candy, like the varietal of grapes that are called cotton candy grapes?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The varietal.
It is the varietal.
You got so many words.
Like, come on now.
She been overseas.
Overseas. And went to school.
What was the other word you said?
Proprioceptive. Proprioceptive phase.
Oh, okay. Love. Okay.
But yeah, they're delicious.
They're delicious, right?
Yes. I love GMO crafted food. Like, no lie. Like, I live for it because it gives us those cotton candy grapes.
Yeah.
It's also given us Cosmic Crisp apples.
Oh, I haven't had those.
Shout out
to Cosmic Crisp apples.
Call me, text me, send me apples. Be very happy about it.
Okay.
They're just like perfect.
Yeah.
And they're genetically modified to be that way, as are a couple.
That's what GMO means, genetically modified object.
Genetically modified. It's not object. It might be origin.
Okay.
Maybe potentially. I can't remember what the other.
You can Google that. Vincent, will you Google that?
What's GMO stand for?
What's GMO stand for?
Genetically modified organism.
Oh, organism.
Genetically modified organism. Lovely. Okay. Liquor, ick, dirty talk with accents.
Lick. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never done it, but when I saw, I was like, that would be interesting.
Yeah, because I'm like an accent person. Like I'm such a weirdo. I'm
Overseas.
always overseas. She's from overseas, love. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't live in LA.
Wow. See, I went to acting school, so if the accent isn't good, I would really be like, love, you have to
Absolutely
stop.
not.
Please
But
don't.
to me, the question was like, I'm already putting the right person
Sure,
in there.
Yes.
So I'm saying yes.
So yes,
Could
it's
be
divine,
wrong and
it's
could be
divine
bad.
I'm bad at accents. I just never got it.
It's all
the
good.
New Yorker is like just so deep. My accent teachers and my speech teachers were always like, no, love.
No, babe, for you.
No, love. You will not be playing someone from overseas.
I love an accent. It's like a weird mimicky thing. It's
Yeah. I love, let me tell you, the first time I saw a black British person, it really took me out. I remember I was like 7 or 8, and this woman, my mom was hanging out with some friends, and like one of the women were British and black, and I said,
crisis.
Immediately. Internal crisis. Like a breakdown.
You're like,
how do I do that?
Wait, are you caught up on this black folks, our folks in Scotland?
Scotland, finding people in Scotland.
So great.
It's lovely.
I mean, of course, they're in Ireland too. Like, it's all there, but like just the visibility piece.
I'll be honest and say I was also shocked.
It's fine.
I'll be vulnerable and say I was like, oh, because I grew up with the myth of like, oh, we're not, but we are everywhere.
Everywhere that's labor has been needed or has been a place to escape persecution, we're going to be there.
Zoom in.
We're going to be there.
Yeah. That's deep.
And they've got a friendly immigrant policy too. Any place like that.
So is that where we're going?
It's too cold for me.
That's deep.
I do feel like Scotland's really beautiful, just the green, and all of that, but it's not like super high on the destination list.
Yeah.
For now.
You never know. You never know. Last one. Liquor ick spit in your mouth.
That's going to be an ick. Now,
Okay.
I have my messy story, though.
Okay, yeah.
When I first got together with my fiance many years ago, I remember, like, in that early stage, just, like, wanting to be, like, hypersexual and, like, fun. I was like, I like spitting in people's mouths, and I like it when people spit in my mouth. And, like, we broke up for a long time, and when we got back together, she was like, "Are you still into that?" And I was like, "No, never was. But just it felt like good. It just felt like good to say and be like, I'm into anything and I'm down and da da da. No.
I am. It has to be the right person and the right spit. And of course, all these are the divine version of it. Mm-hmm. But when the first time it happened, well, I'm terrible at spitting. Because my mouth gets dry. Usually I also I love a little sex edible or a little weed, so my mouth is getting dry. So when somebody's like spit, I remember the first time somebody told me to spit in them, and I was like, spit at their face. I wasn't sure what they meant. So I literally spit in their face. And I was like, that's not, nope, you wanted me in your mouth.
Yeah.
Some
people want it on their face.
That's true.
Some people want it on their face. They want other things on their face.
Want it in his mouth. And I was like, oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah. Or they want it on their back. I don't know. Yeah. It's like it can go anywhere. You didn't do anything. All I want to say is you didn't do anything wrong.
Thank you.
They just didn't give you
the
right
location. They didn't give you the directives. They didn't give the right locations. But I do like, if it's hot and you can do it, I love spit in the mouth. I just can't always reciprocate it.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, but if you're liking something like nasty, because I'm a girl who likes, I want to be up in your armpits. I want your feet in my mouth.
Sniffer.
I'm a sniffer. Mm-hmm. So tap my balls, spit my. Well, you won the game, by the way.
Oh,
congratulations!
Nice
You really won that game. You win a lollipop. Look at this.
What do we got here?
And I made this bowl too. But I didn't make these lollipops.
Here we go.
So there's the organic ones and the blow pops.
I like this pomegranate pucker.
That's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Cheers.
You win. Okay. If y'all have prompts or game ideas, you can email tellmesomethingmessy@gmail.com. Speaking of which, Erica,
yes,
can you tell me something messy?
Whew, well, I feel like I did tell you something messy with the lying about liking spit and
sure.
But I'm trying to think what's another good story.
What's another good story?
Let's see.
We can never run out of stories.
I know. I'm trying to think of something that's.
You had an opinion on.
Oh my God, Labubos!
You had an opinion.
Wait, let's go into that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I despise Labubos.
Tell me what Labubos are, because I'm seeing them on the internet and people are losing their minds and I don't really know what it is.
Okay, so basically they are a toy. Based off of a TV show.
Okay.
In China, I believe it could be a TV show. It could be a game. No, it's a TV show.
Okay.
And they have Beanie Babies and Labubus are interlinked in terms of
Are Beanie Babies still a thing?
They're still around, but they're
lovely.
not
they're not as what they were. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So level of fervor for Beanie Babies is very similar to the level of fervor for Labubus.
Okay.
Now, my thing about it actually comes down to hygiene issues, and it's funny we were already talking about it. And then I also have this other component to bring to it. One, I think China is amazing.
Yeah.
I love Southeast Asia. I mean, the culture, so many different components are so beautiful and captivating, and there's true culture there, true culture, in a way that I identify as being Nigerian, having culture, you Caribbean having culture. We have our foods.
There's a history.
There's foods. There's history.
Yes.
There's and obviously not all history is good.
Sure.
China does have a complicated and violent past, as most nation states do.
Yeah.
But my thing with Labubus are, firstly, I think they're really ugly. And that's coming from someone who really loves Maurice Sendak. I love Where the Wild Things Are. I also grew up loving The Stinky Cheese Man. I can't remember.
Yes, I love that book.
Love that book.
Yes.
But as much as I'm into that type of ghoulish, quasi scary, comical aesthetic.
Yeah.
I feel very concerned about Labubus. I feel like there's just there's dark energy around them. Okay, it's giving dark. It's giving,
gotta sage it. Yeah.
Giving dark energy.
Yeah.
It's also, I just feel like everybody that has one, they're just out,
Yeah.
They're just on your bag, they're on the table, they're in your car, everywhere you went. You just went to K Barbecue, you had your Labubu there, your Labubu's coming back with you smelling like K Barbecue. They just collect a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they
hold smells and not necessarily germs, but I just don't know how you keep something like that safe,
Yeah.
and clean. And I feel like, fine, if you had a Labubu and it was in your house and it just stayed there, it's a traveling component.
It's the traveling of the Labubu.
Yeah. And also, I'm sure people are getting the Labubu stolen because they're just hanging off people's bags.
Are they valuable?
They are.
Oh, wow.
They are. Certain types, certain...
Like these are like Pokemon cards almost.
Yes, in the same. So Pokemon cards, Beanie Babies, Labubu are all like in conversation in terms of like collectible items that have a lot of... I would say a lot of sentimentality or sentiment attached to them. But yeah, I just think that they look evil. I feel like you can't keep them clean.
Subtle. You look evil.
Yeah. And I'm also just like, the thing for me that I also find challenging is what I want with something like Labubu, like, and I don't think evil as in the person who made them is evil.
Sure.
I just, when I look at it, I don't feel soft. I feel like, I better get this out of here.
Yeah.
Oh no, why is that, looking at me? But
it's like those porcelain dolls.
Yes.
They're like just a little creepy.
Yeah, it's just like the fixed emotion that's on the face of the Labubu is hard to take in.
Okay.
And then my last thing though is I feel like with this research, with this excitement about Labubus, what I also would want to see, because Labubus are a product of Chinese culture, is just more love and support for Asian people. Like if we're gonna love everything, pretty much everything we have in this room probably was shipped from there.
Yeah.
I just want things to feel. I don't want the focus to only be on Labubus. I want the focus to be on like who developed it and where it comes from
and what's the culture
behind it.
Yeah, that
it just feels like another capitalist chasm where you just like fall into. So, but I also don't like hype. I've never been that.
So
kind
you're
of person.
like anything that's just like people are
anti.
Yeah.
Until it's over.
That's
then
fair.
the hype is done. Like Succession, I didn't watch when it was on TV. I watched it afterwards. Was very happy about that.
Did you enjoy Succession?
Loved it. It's great. It's good writing.
It's great writing. I had to watch it with the subtitles.
Yeah, even better though, because you can really appreciate that. But also, I was watching something the other day about why we all have to watch things with subtitles now, and it has a lot to do with the type of mics that are being used on set to allow for more naturalistic dialogue, and then how the sound is drawn up and compressed. So you listening to subtitles is not an issue.
You're so smart.
I watch a lot of stuff. I know too many things. I'm like
I'm living.
Because when they used to do sound on sets back in the day, they would be massive, big booms with these mics. Actors would have to like situate themselves to like work with the boom as opposed to the boom working with them. And then sound was casted onto like wax and all these other materials that were just better at capturing. Know that. And now we're just like, and they don't want to do a lot of ADR. So people don't, and for folks that don't know, that's just like doing voiceover if you just shot something if lines are off or whatever because it's too expensive. Most people don't like it. Most people don't like to do it, and people don't like to pay for it. So hence subtitles.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for telling me something messy.
You're welcome. It's a little all over the place, but I'm like,
it. We're messy here. I love it.
Fine.
Okay, shall we do some messy mail?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Let's do it.
All right. As always, your submissions remain anonymous. So this one says, Messy Mom, I was out at brunch with my besties, mimosas flowing, everyone vibing, and my friend decides to tell the entire table about a very intimate move my boyfriend and I tried last weekend. She said it like it was just a fun story, but I swear the whole restaurant turned to look at me. I laughed it off in the moment, but inside I was mortified. Now part of me wants to just let it slide, and part of me wants to casually drop one of her private stories next time we're all out. Is that too petty or just fair game?
I wish I knew what it was.
Same.
Because I think that's...
Well, I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious because I think tit for tat is like a really interesting human behavior to be like, well, because you did this, I'm gonna do worse.
But to your friend, no, I feel like,
well, what kind of friend?
But wouldn't we have a conversation with the friend? I would have the conversation with the friend and be like, girl.
But maybe this friend doesn't listen. It's giving a little bit like this friend's been talked to before.
Oh.
I feel like this person who wrote in is like, I'm a little bit on my last leg with this person.
Yeah.
And I feel like the only way to get this behavior
to change
is to actually have her experience it.
I never thought about it like that. I guess I'm of two minds. I guess on one hand, if that's the case and you think this person will learn by experience, then perhaps just, let her experience.
Yeah. Let her have the experience. Because nothing is better than, shame. Shame's a great teacher.
here's the deal. As you know, we're a shame-free space, but there is sometimes where shame is helpful.
Shame is discipline. Shame is discipline. And I don't care what anybody thinks when they hear that coming out.
Go ahead. Talk about it.
I'm totally sane. There's a difference between, we don't want people to have shame as two, like, health, sex educators. We don't want anybody to feel shame about their body or what they're experiencing.
Yes.
But we do want people to feel shame about disclosing information that is not theirs to disclose.
Yes, that's
so
fair.
That for me,
there's good shame.
Yeah, there would be good shame.
Yeah,
and sometimes good shame can happen in public with other people. Good shame can also happen one-on-one.
Yeah,
her saying that to her friend, being like, "Hey, so not okay that you talked about that. Like, don't ever do that again. To me again,
yes.
or I'm really not going to be able to be a part of this relationship in a way that feels safe."
Yes.
Great. That's still going to create, we would hope, a sense of remorse and probably some feelings of shame. Or she could, do it in a more public setting. But again, I think it just depends on how close are you to this person.
Yeah.
Do they really matter in your life?
I would probably more likely have the conversation, but also I'm that like Maya Angelou when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time, and I'm like, I'll probably never tell you anything again.
Oh, absolutely not.
Never speak like we can have the kiki, but that you only got to show me at one time how you move, and if you feel like you could say something that I shared with you about my relationship at a table, and who knows if it's a mixed table, or we're all besties, then that's like, oh, you got something. I don't like how you dance.
Yeah. Totally. I agree. I'm very much about, definitely you want to give people a chance.
Sure.
But if it's, more than 3 times really is my thing.
You give them 3.
Yeah, because the first time I will tell you.
Yes.
The second time I might tell you, because sometimes I need more than one chance.
Sure.
Too.
That's
like
fair.
I can work as a neurodivergent person. I'm like, more than one chance is helpful. But third time,
Third time we should know.
Yeah, third time is just like I don't have the bandwidth to continue like correcting your behavior.
I can't, because especially with your friends, I need to be able to relax around you.
Totally.
Because everything else is hyper vigilant. And so with my friends, I need to like, and if I can't do that with you, then no. Okay, this one says, when my ex cheated on me, I didn't slash his tires. I just logged into his Netflix and changed all the profiles to my name, so he had to explain it to his new girlfriend.
Clever.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yep.
Kind of brilliant.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the scenarios of how that unpacks. Like, when is the moment for that?
Yeah.
When are they seeing it?
Yeah.
I like it.
It's great. I like it. It reminds me of one person, I don't know if they wrote to me or if something I heard, because at this point, it's all one. But somebody, when they broke up with their partner, they took all the remotes.
Oof.
Yeah. They took
Diabolical.
They took all the remotes.
Diabolical.
Yeah. To the Apple TV, to the speaker. They just took
That's
all the remotes.
That's enough for running you crazy. And also feel so crazy that you can't even tell people about it. Because what's that call? What's that story? Oh my God. My girl just left and she took all the remotes. They're just like, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with this relationship?
Do you even know if you're the partner who's left, like, do you even know that the remotes are missing, or do you think you've just misplaced it?
If they were all missing, I would know. I would know. One not being there, sure, maybe I misplaced it. But
I might do that. I might like steal the Apple TV remote, because that's the one that's easy to lose, and I might just take that with me and go. I guess you could do it on your phone.
You could, but
now, it's different.
That's already a win. That's already a win.
Yeah.
Whoever took it's winning, because you've got to download the fucking app.
I want a camera. I would need a camera in the house to just to watch you pulling things apart.
But you look at that, just at home. Look at this
on my Apple TV, watching you. Yes, absolutely. And then like in a year, send a little photo of it.
Yeah,
little ransom.
Just a little. Not like a little Polaroid with like all 3 remotes, and then it's like looking for these, and then it's like, I need like $1,500.
Yes.
Because it's not going to be a high amount of money.
No.
It's going to be like pretty reasonable. And kind of like I would pay that much to get these back.
Yeah, a little, a little Venmo request, and you might get these back.
Maybe.
It depends
Unclear.
On why our relationship ended.
Yes.
Okay, this says, I'm crying. There.
I can really see the Polaroid with the remotes, just like looking for
these. And like a long time after. Like, just like petty. Like,
and also, but it doesn't just come to the house. It comes to the house in a box.
Yeah.
And then they're opening the box.
One of those big boxes.
Yeah.
And it's just a picture. Yeah, absolutely.
On top of a bunch of like
confetti. I want you to carry that thing in. Yeah. All the confetti, all the thing you pull through it. It's a little paper. It's a photo of your remotes. Yeah. Because that's a good petty crime. I was on the show Petty Crimes. Shout out to them. And they did.
What's the show about? What's it about petty crimes?
It's petty crimes. It's like crimes that are petty. And so one of the crimes, or the crimes that I was there for, is when this couple broke up, the husband stole her rabbit, her rabbit vibrator. Took it and denied it. But then she broke into the house after and she found it. She was like, oh.
Get what you need.
There's that period.
Taking her rabbit is really intense. I wonder what's going on with their sex life.
Yeah. And also, like, you don't need that. Why? That's petty. Anyways. This says, I've been sneaking across the street in the afternoons to meet up with my new buddy. Convenient, right? What started as casual quickies has already turned into us playing with some kink, light bondage, a little power play, which has made it even harder to resist. It feels hot and secret, like our own little world. But now I'm catching myself thinking about them outside of the bedroom. How do you know when a fun, kinky situationship is starting to slip into something deeper?
I mean, you go with that. I want to hear from you.
Oh, okay. Well, how do you know? Is if you're submitting this question?
Oh, well. This is true. Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. But I mean, so wait. So I'm answering this question.
Yeah.
Okay. We're both here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. Okay. I mean. Okay. Can I have the last line of the question again?
The last line of the question is: how do you know when a fun, kinky situationship is starting to slip into something deeper? I think if you start feeling butterflies or you start thinking about them nonstop, and also, by the way, like, I also like to discern between like lust and actual feelings. Like there's something where, oh, this person is across the street, we're having great sex, but how much do I actually really know about them? Because, you know, we can have great sex and it not be a relationship match. So I think if I'm starting to think about them more, then perhaps I'm like, oh, maybe there are some feelings here. But then I'd be like, well, how much do I really know about them? And what's going on in my own relationship or my own history of relationships? And am I reaching for something that is unattainable? Because sometimes I think we go after things that we know aren't actually a thing because it's safer for us to pursue as opposed to pursuing someone who's available. Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree. I think when someone is preoccupying your thoughts nonstop, that probably is a pretty clear indicator that they've tapped into or locked into something that is deeper than just, you know, physical chemistry.
Yeah.
That said, depending on the type of kink and power play that's going on, I think there can be a little bit of discrepancy between I'm thinking about them all the time equaling I want more from this relationship to I'm thinking about them all the time because like the permission and the limit setting within this dynamic is really comforting. And I can't get that limit setting and I can't get that type of interaction anywhere else. 'Cause I feel like a lot of times, like as someone, I'm really like very into kink, very not just as a practice, but just actually the framework of it.
Sure.
I think a lot of the liberation within, I'm sure you've talked to all kinds of people, and I know that you have your baseline on it as well. But, you know, kink, BDSM, it is very relational in the sense that there's clarity.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing to you. Here's what you're going to do to me. You can't really find that in a lot of environments in the world.
Yeah.
Where you set up, and a lot of people set up contracts, like here's what we're doing in our, you know, kink BDSM box.
Sure.
And again, it's not something you can emulate outside of that. Not emulate, because that's set fire to yourself, even though it's kind of fiery and hot to do BDSM. But it's something you can't recreate
yeah.
in the larger world. And so it makes sense to me for strong feelings to come up.
Yeah.
And a lot of hyper preoccupation around it. And so I would say to that person, see if you can find one other person that can give you a similar type of experience. So maybe more than one kink partner if there's someone that's open to being poly.
Yeah.
And see if what you actually are craving or having feelings or thoughts about are actually about the system of sex, the system of erotic exchange, sex that you're experiencing. It's actually the system and the ability to limit set with someone else. You're getting a lot of control and a lot of containment, and that can feel like I want that person, but that's actually not necessarily what you're wanting. Because if you're just having sex and you're just doing kink, you're just doing BDSM, that's a very hyper restrictive environment.
Yeah.
Once you start going to dinner, meet my family,
Those are different. It changes the elements.
Yeah, which is why I would be like, one more person, try it out.
Yeah.
If you are feeling similar feelings within both of those environments, then you know it's actually kink. You know it's BDSM, and you could swap X out with Y with T. Doesn't matter. You just love the security and the containment and the limit setting that you get within that type of sexual exchange. That would be my 2 cents on that.
Honestly, it was 3 cents.
5 cents.
5.
Quarter.
A quarter. A full quarter. I love that.
Because love can really feel like limit setting. Love can feel like containment. Love can feel, and that's why I think a lot of people, I've always been very supportive of people, working with DOMs or playing that out or experiencing it, because it's really about, hey, I'd like this, and depending on what your arrangement is, that person is like, yes, or no, or yes or no, or whatever the case may be. And I think in normal sexual experiences, consent, not just obviously consent is mandatory, but we often in hetero, kind of more vanilla spaces are just thinking about consent being the only thing that you really ask for in terms of a sexual dynamic. But in kink, it's just, the lexicon is huge. You're asking for more pressure, less pressure, more intensity, less intensity, this rope texture, that rope texture.
Yeah.
It's just like
there's more on the menu.
Yeah, and that's a really beautiful experience than what we get on the day-to-day.
Right.
Where there's typically not a lot of choice, and you're kind of just not necessarily going through the motions. Things feel more instinctual. Yeah. And there's no architecture. Right? Like when you're having sex with someone and you're not practicing BDSM or kink, you're just kind of like, we're going into it, we're making out, you're sucking on me, like whatever. It's just like you're like in this like more primal flow is maybe how people describe that. And kink and BDSM is just very different.
What you're saying makes me think, in the kink and BDSM, there's actually more of a roadway to intimacy. And so that could then be mistaken for romantic feelings because because it requires more conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the vanilla. It requires more from us. And so that is in itself intimate. But then which is why I love that you're saying, try it with another partner and see if it's the kink itself or if it's the person.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're getting an intimacy that you're probably not getting elsewhere, a safety that you're not getting elsewhere, which then gets tripped up as romantic feelings is more. Ate that. Ate that. Ate that. Ate that. Ate that. Okay. All right. Let's make a mess now. Okay. So this is our question that we're gonna dive into. So I'm in a long-term relationship where the love and spark are absolutely still there. We adore each other, we laugh, we connect deeply, but when it comes to sex, I sometimes worry about how to keep it exciting as the years go by. My messy question is, how do you keep having great adventurous sex in a long-term relationship when the love is strong, but routine starts to creep in? I'm very excited to get into this with you.
Well, yeah, I'm excited to hear what you think about it too. But, I was a full spectrum doula for about 15 years. So I worked with a lot of couples.
What does full spectrum doula mean?
It means everything. It means fertility, support. It means during pregnancy, we're working with folks. Postpartum, we're working with folks. If they have a miscarriage, we're working with them. If they're having an abortion, we're working with them. So you're working with them across the full reproductive spectrum of their lives.
Got it.
Yeah. At least for me, as someone who worked in women's health, I think you could also say, there's death doulas, there's sex doulas. There's a lot. Essentially, just doulas are people to help you drop in and, find your comfort zone or find your edge inside of whatever it is that you're experiencing and help you find the right information to make better choices and to not feel so isolated and alone. Yeah. It's not a clinical position. It's definitely psychosocial, emotional, educational. Like that's the zone of it. Yeah. But when I would work with clients over the years, regardless of like what stage they're in, especially people that have been together for a long time in a long-term partnership, routine really was a killer. And not the fact that their sex wasn't routine, but everything else that became so non-negotiable for their existence, whether it's really great writer on Substack, Jess Tofino, I think talked a little bit about how like skin routines can just interrupt intimacy because they're so long now and you have all these steps, these steps are going on.
So many steps.
Yeah. So,
but our skin looks perfect. Okay, continue.
It does.
Thank you.
It
looks
really good.
Looks great.
But I think the thing that I feel very cognizant of is, once that limericcy phase has faded, so that early phase when you're just obsessed with the person and you're thinking about them all the time, thinking about sex, going out to dinner with them, lying in bed with them. Again, very different to the question we were talking about before. Just let's say you're not in a kink BDSM dynamic. And I think routine can get in the way, but there's this framework that I'm kind of working on at the moment that just thinks through like possibilities of how to kind of break through the routine and maybe also understand why the routine exists, right? The first thing I've been thinking a lot about when it comes to the routine and why the routine is there is thinking about firstly just the relationship, and trying to figure out, are there 3 people in your bed? And by the third person, I mean resentment. And I think that when you've been with someone for a really long time and you are in love and there's not a lot of obvious friction in the relationship, you're not fighting all the time, there can be more like implosive ways to create distance, which is, skincare routine, gym, like all these different things that are quote unquote healthy for you, obviously, can become kind of relational barriers, like I haven't done this yet, so I can't do this with you yet, Right. And so I like to always ask folks, what potential resentments are present in the relationship? Like, what are the things that maybe haven't been dealt with that are just lingering around and are creating space and are creating, negative space between you and your partner? I don't know what that is for people, but when you've been together a long time, there typically are resentments if you haven't actively been working through things, if you don't have good tools for conflict. Sure. And so I always like to just bring it up. Like, are there any resentments? Even though you love each other, you can still be fully in love with someone and have resentments.
Sure, yeah.
And I do think resentment really fucks with desire and arousal, and urgency. Right? Yeah. Like if you're resenting someone, you're not like, oh, there's no urgency. We'll do it sometime or like, so that's one thing I would say, just relationally identify if there's any resentments, and resentments can come up from just, maybe you're not in a regular date cycle, like you don't do that enough, or you're not feeling special, or if you have children, you're doing all of the caretaking and your partner is just like not as involved. Yes, right. Yeah. Or there's in-law issues, it's just, or you just, so I could go on and on.
Yeah, there's many things. Yeah.
But I think sometimes we play down resentments because they haven't become a full-blown argument. So it's just building up nice and quietly. And again, like I said, it's like throwing water on urgency. The fire of urgency out. Yeah. And then again, just this, it can just be this bed partner that you're not aware of. And so doing a little bit of inventory on where there might be resentments, I think is important. Then the next thing I would say too would just be like, what's your environment like at home? I think oftentimes we're all super busy, whatever it is that we're doing. And it can be sometimes very hard to keep the house the way that you need to be conducive for sex.
Listen.
Okay?
Listen.
Okay?
Wait,
all right.
Okay, hold on.
Great episode. So glad I was here.
I think you
Thank
have to go, love.
Thank you.
I think you gotta get out.
You gotta go. But for real, right?
For both of the, can we?
Yeah.
Because let me do resentment and then environment. I think that you're so onto something. So my partner, my husband and I are in couples therapy, which just in general. But we're talking about resentment. And we're talking about not resentment in the current state of things, but resentment that happened in the beginning of our relationship. Because we've been together for 10 years now, which is really exciting and so wonderful. But there were tools that we didn't have in the earlier stage of our relationship. So to give context, when we both started dating, like he was a teacher and I was just an actor. Over the course of our 10 years, he's now a therapist. I now am an educator. I have a podcast, all this stuff. So we have tools now to like talk and navigate with each other. But those first, let's call it 5 years, we didn't, and nor did we have the role models of how do you navigate a marriage, how do you navigate a gay marriage, how do you navigate an interracial marriage, and so I think what we're talking about in therapy is like, what are the resentments, and needing to go back to identify, because it builds distance. And it's not like, what I find interesting about it is, I think, based off of like media and representation, or even, other couples, you think resentment means that you're not talking to each other, or that you're mad at each other, or that you don't love each other, or that like people are just slamming doors and, slamming cabinets and, one sleeping on the couch.
It can get there.
It can get there. But what's interesting about this is that that's not happening. Like, we love each other. We enjoy each other. We have the best conversations. We're very attached to one another. And yet there is this distance that can happen sexually or emotionally. And it's like, oh, it's because of all these things that we put away to keep moving forward, as our therapist just kind of said. It's like, you wanted to keep forging ahead in the path of the relationship. So these moments came up that you kind of boxed away that are now, you got to pay the bill at some point. And so now we're working on paying the bill. And then the other piece, and I'm saying that because just for other folks who, I think when we talk about resentment or couples therapy, it becomes people wanting to keep the appearances that like everything is perfect. And it's like, every relationship is complicated.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
Environment. I am, jokingly, I'm a Taurus. And so environment is so important to me. But it really does, like, we're better at sex outside of the home. Take me to a hotel, girl. I'm a slut. You know what I'm saying? A nice hotel.
I'm a dog.
Period. Okay.
Yes.
I'm throwing ass in that hotel room.
Yes.
Take me overseas, baby. My hole's wide open. You know what I'm saying?
Gaping.
Gaping. Okay. Put a fist in there. Not actually, but Chidi, you like that for some. For me, please don't.
We let them have that. Totally fine.
But at home, where the routine is taking place, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
And I love what you're saying about the fire on the urgency, because you go, well, I'm with this person. Like, we're fine. We love each other. It doesn't feel uncomfortable per se. Whereas if I was in a household where we're yelling all the time, that would feel uncomfortable. And so it's like, something has to change here. But because we're still vibing and we're still laughing and everything, it doesn't feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it feels like, oh, we don't have to figure all these things out immediately. So just wanted to.
I love all of that. I mean, that's exactly it. It doesn't have to be an obvious symptom in the relationship that signals resentment. But resentment, one of its best qualities, and I think one of its most challenging qualities, is it's really secretive.
Yeah.
Like, resentment is so quiet, it's so private, and it's so particular, and you're just kind of like, that's my resentment.
And you might not even know you have it.
Yes. Sometimes that's the thing too. You're operating because we don't really talk a lot about resentment. We're not really socialized to understand its mechanism, what have you. So I love that you're expressing that, you're in love and all the things with your husband, but then there's, there can be resentments.
Yes.
And then the environment piece, I think, is super important. The environment piece, I think, is really important because, again, we're all very busy. Wherever you work, whatever you do, however many children you have or don't have, the house can be very emblematic of the actual challenges at play.
Emblematic. Tell me what that means.
Emblematic, it can just be it's an emblem. It's showcasing what is actually going on underneath, right? And so sometimes I'll say to folks, especially when they were pregnant too, keep like one area of the house like pristine, like one area of the house that that you can go relax in, you can have sex in, you feel comfortable. It doesn't even have to be the bedroom. If you had another bedroom, make it that bedroom. Or maybe it's the living room. Just one place that if you can't do your whole house, because, unfortunately I have OCD, and so the whole house is going down. It's gotta be like this, or I can't function, my insides or my outsides. But I think a lot of people actually identify with saying like, my outsides or my insides. Yeah. Or my insides or my outsides. Like, I have to have that correlation. And if you're a person who's like, my outsides or my insides, and your outsides do not match what you need internally, that's actually going to be an issue. It's going to be a sensory issue too. Absolutely. So for anyone that has sensory processing disorder or sensory processing issues, it's going to be challenging because you're going to come in to the house and the house is just like, oof. And then all of these other urgencies come up, around like, oh, it doesn't feel, I'll clean that later. you just want to quiet that noise by knowing there's one place in your home
that is pristine.
That's pristine and it can be multi-purposed.
Yeah.
So first is relational with resentment. Second is environmental. Like, where is that one place that gets to be okay for you? And then the third thing, interestingly, is really trying to think very deeply about trauma. As you feel comfortable. Everybody has experienced some kind of trauma.
Sure.
That said, in my work, I have to stop doing this thing that I do when I think. I throw my eyeballs all the way back into my head because that's just what I'm doing. I'm like,
don't stop.
It just looks terrible on camera.
It
looks bad.
They'll zoom to me.
Yes, please zoom to him.
To me.
Please zoom to him when I'm doing that because I'm like back in my like computer bringing down info.
Yes.
But everyone has experienced trauma, and because I worked with a lot of people trying to get pregnant or were pregnant, it's very interesting the trauma that will surface when you are trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
And if you're trying and it's not working, that's one thing. And then you're trying and you get pregnant and your body's changing. A lot of people struggle with eating disorders or disordered eating. As your body's changing, all this information, all these old stories are coming up, which can make you feel more or less sexual.
Sure.
And especially, postpartum, which is, forever basically after you have a baby, you will always be postpartum having a baby.
Yeah.
Just the negotiation of all the things that your body is doing to at first feed your baby, to heal, especially if you had a traumatic birth. It could just make you less open to affection. And again, because we don't talk about birth enough in our culture, we also don't talk enough about postpartum, what happens to the body after birth. There's like this vacuum of, hey, actually, after having a baby, like, here's what's going on with me, and here's what I'm remembering. Here's what my body is now remembering, and how does that map onto how we have sex, when we have sex, what it feels like when we have sex.
Sure.
And then again, when you're trying to get pregnant and it's not working, there's sometimes a failure complex about the body. Like, I just can't do this. So what else can't I do? And there can be a lot of, sometimes I like to call it, there can be like a push towards like self-deprivation, right? You want as little input as possible. That can happen for folks when they're not able to get pregnant easily. It's just like everything's a little too much and you need a lot less. New parents, especially people that have vulvas and are able to have babies who were formerly a pregnant person, postpartum, you also can feel really touched out because you're breastfeeding and there's oxytocin running between you and the baby as you're breastfeeding and you don't really want any other input. And so I always would say during my childbirth classes, I would say to partners, hey, listen up. First 6 weeks, 3 months after having a baby, really don't expect any sex. Maybe even the first 6 months. Maybe it's not intercourse. Maybe there's some outer course happening between the two of you. But if she chooses or he or they chooses to breastfeed, there is a hormonal loop that's going on between the baby and the parent to create the milk that they're drinking that really lowers their need for more of any kind of physical touch. Some people won't have that issue, but it's more common than not. And so it's like setting those expectations. And then also a resentment that can come up in that period of time is that other partner not getting their sexual needs met. And then never really being able to talk about it and their sex life never going back to the way it was before the baby.
Right.
And so again, that can be a trauma on both sides, right?
Yeah.
And so I know speaking very specifically about pregnancy, fertility and all of that. But then I think also too, it's, the psychological piece is also if you had been sexually assaulted at a younger age, how does that, and there is no timeline on when that type of experience is resolved, as you know. It could have happened 15 years ago, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it's back. It's alive. It's here. And if you're not talking about that because the partner that you're with met you way after and it's just never come up, again, these are the small little things just underneath the surface that could be creating that friction to getting to that level of intimacy. And then my last piece is the goal. So the goal piece for me, I think, is so important because I can say this, just comfortably from my experience. I know that if I'm having sex with my partner, I should not come first. Because when I come, I'm
You're
gone.
done.
I'm gone. You can't come
Is
get
that
her.
true for me?
You can't come get me.
I think, okay, I'll say this. If I'm bottoming, if I come first, it's a wrap. You
It's a
can't
wrap.
get back in the hole.
Yeah, sorry.
It's just,
It's over.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
If I'm topping and I come first, I can get back to it. it might take a second, but I can get back to it.
Yeah.
But at the bottom, I'm like, please get
Yeah,
it all.
because I have really intense orgasms.
Yeah.
Like they're just like the whole world is ended and then I wake up type of orgasm.
Wow.
So
Rebirth
every time. And it's a lot of energy output.
Yeah.
And so I know if I come first, then it's going to be challenging for me to rally to start again.
Sure.
So, it's been like a little cheat code to start on the opposite end and then get to me because I can hang out for a long time.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah,
hang out
all night.
but don't start and finish with me because then
you'll be disappointed, love.
But yes, but that's what I mean about the goal piece too. It's like that's not even something I really even realized about myself, until I was in a queer lesbian partnership.
Yeah.
And it's something that now I'm like more aware of. And again, it's just helped support what is already a beautiful sex life, but just that type of awareness, like I think between partners, understanding, okay, and we're not going to sit down with a piece of paper and be like, okay, what's our goal for this time that we're having sex? It's going to be more just what's really working with us with sex. Like, are you feeling like your needs are getting met? Like, what do you want more or less of? It can be over dinner. It can be fun foreplay conversation, just to get an understanding. Are we both moving?
Are we aligned? Moving to the same thing.
Especially for folks that are having penis and vagina sex. I think that, there tends to be a lot of swiftness on the penis side and a lot of just, receptivity on the vagina side, but the pacing is wrong, right? So it's like going slower at the beginning for the person that has the penis, like really just learning, negotiating, giving that body you're moving into more time and space to just acclimate to what and how you feel and how to feel with that feeling inside of them. Just slowing things down just a little bit can be really helpful. And then the other piece too, in terms of goals, and maybe actually this is a separate piece, actually it should have come before the goals, is pain, physical pain.
Okay.
A lot of people that have vaginas have pain during intercourse. And it's just an important thing to keep in mind. I mean, one of the things that we would always recommend for people that just had babies is, take a ibuprofen maybe 2 to 3 hours before you're going to have sex, to manage some of the discomfort that might be present, in your vagina, after having a baby. Sure. And that can apply to anyone. Some people who've never had children have, vaginismus, which is really intense pain in the vagina upon penetration, sometimes even without penetration. So I'm a big fan of managing pain, whether it's through medication or, whatever your choice of lubricant is, and then actual lubricant.
Yeah.
Like obviously for folks in your body with your parts that are having sex with other people with your body and your parts, lube is a friend. Lube is family. Let's actually skip.
Please skip the spit.
Yeah.
Please use the lube.
Please use the lube.
It is hot on porn, but like, please.
Please use the lube. Lube. Thank you.
Yes.
But I think in heterodynamics, also I think in queer or lesbian dynamics, lube can be a little bit like, oh, like, why do we need lube? Does it mean you're not as into me or like what the case may be? And it's actually not the case. I think we're so overstimulated. There's so much going on. It can really interrupt that arousal pathway. And so so I'll give you a scenario. If you have a vulva and you want to have sex with a person that has a penis,
yes,
or a person who has their hands and uses it as a penis,
yeah,
and you want it, but for whatever reason you cannot get wet, it's just not happening on its own, but you know that you want it, pull in that lube,
period,
click, squeeze, whatever the case may be, and just let your partner be inside you for a little bit, not moving intensely or super vigorously, just skin to skin, smush, skin to skin, smush, and then just slowly, let you set the pace, let them set the pace, and you'll find within a few minutes your natural body will catch up. That is, unless you're perimenopausal or menopausal.
Yeah.
Let's actually not say peri, because you can be peri and not really be having that as a constant issue. But for anybody that is not, in that stage of life, that's a really nice way to just signal to the body, hey, we want this.
What I hear from you in talking about how do we keep great sex in long-term relationship is a lot of communication.
Which people don't like to do.
Yeah, because if we're talking about resentment, we're talking about environment, we're talking about pain, we're talking about trauma, we're talking about goals. That requires an awareness of yourself. That requires the willingness to also express that to your partner and vice versa. Whereas I think that a lot of times we approach sex as it should just be happening, which we know is not.
It's not just happening.
It's not just happening.
It's not just happening.
But especially if we're going to be together for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, our bodies are changing and evolving. That, especially when you brought up SA, if like something happened 15 years ago, for whatever reason, it comes up now. It's back. Or as your body shifts, now there's a new pain in your body. Yeah. So us needing to be in constant communication and the intentionality behind that communication, even being able to express, oh, the baby's getting more attention than me. I'm not coming to you blaming you for that, but like, oh, it's building, right? Like I always think about, when I think about resentment, I personally think about Beyonce's song Resentment, which was originally sung by Posh Spice. Fun fact. But, it's about like, oh, you lied to me and I'm building resentment. And so I think our relationship to resentment is in rage, or in somebody has betrayed us, or there's anger, whereas resentment can just be this thing that happens in we haven't asked for our needs. Or we don't even know what our needs are, and so we can't even ask for it. And so being able to talk about that, I think, I don't know, I'll say this: whenever my partner, any of my partners, whether they are the partners that I'm in relationship with or sexual partners, whenever there's communication, it really turns me on. Like the ability to just talk about the things, whether we're talking about sex or other things, but just like the ability to talk to each other and feel safe in that immediately turns me on.
Yeah.
And this model that you're presenting of resentment, environment, trauma, pain, and goals is really a blueprint for talking. And I think that is the key to keeping great sex in a long-term relationship.
I completely agree. And, what I will say for all my nonverbal people out there, I got you. I'm thinking about you too. But there are things that can happen within this working framework that can be solo. So,
yes, absolutely.
Exactly. Like
1000%.
you can take on the environment and make the changes that you need to make sure that you're going to feel comfortable, and you can kind of hedge your bets knowing what would make your partner feel comfortable.
Yeah.
'Cause we're talking about long-term relationships here.
And I would say it would start with you too, right? Like
yes,
it would
always
start solo.
Always has to start solo.
And then you would be able to communicate.
Correct.
It's like knowing what and I say this for myself, I want to hold your hand. I'm not even going to say anything deep. I just wanted to. But I've learned for myself that I will oftentimes not bring things to my forefront. I'm just quick to compartmentalize. And so resentments and things build, but it's not even conscious. My therapist and I were talking about it. She's like, I'll bring things to her like months after it happened. And she's like, why didn't you bring that up? And I was like, oh, and she's like, I don't think you're intentionally doing that, but there's just like a disconnect that happens for some of us, especially those of us who have maybe in our childhood had to just fix things, had to take care of things. And so this model that you're bringing is really like, how do you figure out what's going on in you? How do you talk about what's going on with you, and giving us pinpoints to start looking at it. Let's look at what are your resentments and just like kind of sit in that for a moment.
Yeah,
just
totally.
Like maybe journaling about it, talking about it,
or just even like you can also just practice it out too in terms of like the last. You can practice it out too in terms of the last piece about the goal setting. It's like, is it important that you both come every time? Is it important that you come together? Is it okay if one person comes and then the next couple times, the other person? Like these are, I just really want to let people know that everything is a negotiation.
Yeah.
And, not getting stuck is really kind of the end goal. And in terms of, sometimes the adventure is actually just talking about it.
Yeah.
Not even changing anything major, but just like getting to voice it and getting to move through it,
Yeah.
as opposed to just this thing that we're sold about sex where it's just like, it's biological and you'll know how to do it and it's going to be da-da-da-da-da. It's like, sort of, but
there's room for curiosity, and there's room for acknowledging that if you are an emotional being and an evolving being, that like, you're probably going to need to check in with yourself.
Exactly.
And then you can check in with your partner based on what you've learned about yourself.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Shall we do one last mess?
Yes.
Okay, look, we're going to ask you some speed round questions, and then you just tell me.
We're the same color.
Look at that. Come through. Come through. Speed round questions you can answer in one word or a full sentence.
Okay.
Whatever feels good. Okay. First question. Which celebrity or fictional character could ruin your life and you'd say thank you?
I would say Bet from the L Word.
Work. Work.
That'll work.
What's your most controversial food opinion? I know you got a food opinion. Come on. Come on.
I share a food opinion with someone that you love.
Who?
Cynthia. I'm going to say it.
Say it to the camera. Just say it right to the camera.
Say it with your whole chest. So, my food take is that using raw garlic, excessive amounts of raw garlic in food is lazy.
Lazy.
It's lazy.
That's what my friend
Lazy.
said. She says lazy.
Lazy.
Okay. And she's from overseas.
Okay, overseas.
She knows.
Overseas, bitch. It's lazy.
What's your most irrational ick?
Oh my gosh. I have so many.
What's your favorite most irrational ick?
It's another sensory thing.
Okay.
If you haven't picked up already that I have sensory stuff.
Yeah.
I hate anything that's like strawberry flavored, that's synthetic strawberry flavored.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're good here.
Okay,
I've
okay.
looked.
Okay.
You're good. But
Those lollipops. Okay. You mean like those strawberry?
You're fine.
Those strawberry. Like
just synthetic strawberry smells.
Okay.
It can be for face products. It can be in a lollipop. It can be in a candy chew.
like that
I just
body
don't.
butter, that strawberry.
Oh my god! Like going in a Bed Bath and
Yeah,
Beyond
yeah.
is like.
You don't want it. You don't want it. Okay, got you. I used to
Like,
get the mango body butter, and not anymore.
That actually was good though. That was good. You so have a. You so have. You're so black. Okay, because that's like that. That really was our thing.
That was our thing.
But that actually had a great scent profile.
I love that.
I have a very particular nose. Like
Okay.
that scent profile, no
Worked.
problem.
Okay.
But as we
The
expand
strawberry?
out,
Yeah, strawberry can become too sweet, and you're like, strawberries don't even
it just
smell like
smells
that.
weird.
Yeah,
It just
I'm
smells
with you.
weird.
I'm with you. What show will you defend to the grave, even if it doesn't need defending?
P Valley.
Word.
Grave.
That's a great
To the
show.
grave.
To the grave. To the grave. I do
so
love.
good. I
Shout
can't
out
wait for it to
Nico.
come back.
I know, me too. So
love.
excited. What's the first song you'd play if you hijacked the aux cord right now?
Tyla.
Okay.
That new Is It song. Actually, it'd be Tyla and then maybe Hot Body by
Okay.
Aerostar.
Work. Lovely.
Just my overseas girls.
Because of your culture.
Culture biz.
If you could whisper one messy piece of advice into the world's ear, what would it be?
You deserve everything, so ask for it.
That's beautiful. You do deserve everything. So ask for it. I love that. And last but not least, what do you love most about yourself?
My brain.
You have a wonderful brain.
I like my brain.
You came out here and gave us,
good in there.
baby, it's great.
I like thinking and I like imagining stuff. And
Yeah.
my brain has always kept me comfortable, and even in the hardest times, like I could just go upstairs and tinker. So I like my brain a
It's
lot.
beautiful in there.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the mess, baby. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I love you
This
so
was
much.
So fun.
Yes. I'll see y'all next time.
Love you too. Bye.